determine if we'll watch it instead. Oh, it's just Evo.
Incredible player.
This is a good match, but all right, we can watch this match. It's a long set too.
Both of them incredible players. Matt KoF.
Two very surgical players going up against.
I don't need no fucking Evo commentary. Last arcade game I played was probably Street Fighter 3. This is a good set. This is a really good set. This is some of the highest level fighting games I've ever seen. So Bala starts off with Billy. His first character changes a lot. Bala can play every character, but he has a certain preference to very specific characters. He likes all of the fucking Sakazaki family. He plays like all 4 of them. Yuri, fucking both Takumas plus Ryo. He used Shen back now. I think he's pretty much swapped over to Anchor Yuri. But he plays a lot of different characters. He has a lot of different teams. Mad KoF usually uses this team, or like I think one other team more recently than this. This is like Mad KoF's team was generally Duolan was generally regarded to be bottom tier, not bottom, maybe bottom. Yeah, Duolan is like bottom tier in this game prior to this like all this footage. Duolan was generally considered to be quite bad. The thing about him though is that most of the reason he's really bad is related to how poorly he uses meter. Like he's kind of a meter hog, and his damage isn't very high even when he's being a meter hog. This kills, right? Does this kill? He gets the stun. That stun is always right there. That's guaranteed stun setup. That entire combo built exactly enough stun to stun from no prior stun. Anchor and point is not super significant, especially not in 14. If you're playing 14, it doesn't matter that much. There are not that many factors going into it. The general consideration is how good your character is at using bar, because end characters will be... There's 2 main considerations. One is that the last characters will have a lot more meter, and 2 is that the first characters will have a lot less meter. And that sounds like the same reason twice, but actually it's 2 radically different reasons. You want your last character to be able to fight, like, to be able to make a big comeback. So you want them to be able to use meter efficiently. You want them to be functional with, like, lots of bar. And then your first character, like, if your first character is weak to meter, like, there are a lot of characters like Athena and Kenso and a few others, Duolan, actually, where, like, a lot of characters just have, like just punishes to what they do. They just outright punish them. It's like, oh, I see your fireball, let me do this, like, full screen super. And then they just smash you with, like, Rambu supers or, like, stuff like that. Shen's, like, double quarter circle punch. All kinds of stuff. But those all require bar. So if you're playing that fireball spam character, and your opponent's counter requires meter, if you run that fireball spam character first, the opponent won't have any bar. So they won't be able to use like those hard counter moves. So like certain characters who are weak to meter are good first, and certain characters who are strong with meter are strong third. You know what I mean? Who you run in the middle basically doesn't matter. That being said, characters who are strong on anchor are often strong in general. So the general thing that you see in Street Fighter in KoF13 is 3 anchor teams, to be honest. Anyway, at the time of this, Kim was generally regarded to be top tier in Korea and high-ish tier most other places. And I think for several years after this, up until like 2015, Kim was regarded to be top tier everywhere. And now I think the idea is he's still strong, but he's not like top tier. He's not like the best, but he's still strong. He has really good footsies. And Duolan is regarded as like borderline bottom, and Chin at the time, now he's considered to be like top or like high at least. And at the time of this, I think he was regarded to be low-ish most places, and like high but like untapped other places. I don't remember where he was, like what America thought of him. But generally speaking, Mad KoF's team is like a fake bottom tier team. It's got what like was generally considered to be like bottom low mid in America, and then like as it turns out, these like Duolan in first position. I said he's a meter hog, but actually like most opponents, he uses meter really poorly, and most characters have like good answers to him when they have meter. So he's really bad in like second or third position, but he's actually pretty good in first position. He's just like a weird Dawson. Ralph is a really unusual pick. I don't know what the fuck. Bala, if he was not fucking around at character select, he was trying to like kind of get Mad KoF to not know how to fight someone. I think he was trying to exploit bad matchup knowledge. I would have liked to see his Clark, to be honest. I think he does pull out the Clark. I don't remember. The Ralph, I feel like was a mistake though. KoF13 is pretty big. Yori getting an SF5. I pray every day. Yori and SF5 would be great. What would be a good counter for Kim? I don't know. There aren't really counters like that in the traditional sense for most anchor characters. That's the whole point of an anchor. You don't want your character to be able. You want your character to be able to make any sort of comeback. That's curious that you say that because Ralph, Clark, and Leona are actually guest characters in KoF. I don't know about Leona. I think they started in Metal Slug. Oh, Ralph and Clark started in Ikari Warriors, which was like a pre-Metal Slug arcade game. But they're like cameo characters in this game. There's enough universal options in KOF that make it so matchups are not super important. They are, but not like tremendously so. Bal Takuma's such a cool character. Dropped. Go is a really fun game. I've heard a lot of people say it falls apart at a high level, and from what I've seen, that looks true. I don't know, it still looks fun. Dualon's towards B is basically Viper Seismo if it always homed and was faster. Doesn't do very much damage though. The cool thing about Takuma is that he's got anywhere juggle, and he can cancel using a drive cancel. He can cancel the anywhere juggle into like a command grab that regrounds, or the anywhere juggle regrounds, and the command grab like combos out of it. Rather, he's got a command grab he can like combo out of. So basically, he can like knock you into the air and then put you back on the ground, and then put you back into the air and then put you back on the ground, shit like that. Shen seems like he would be. He was regarded as top tier for like the first like couple years of release. He has all the symptoms of a top tier, but whether he's truly top tier is a little bit harder to say. He also has all the symptoms of a good anchor. He's extremely easy to play. He has a command grab. He has like really, really, really high damage. Pow, he's going for the full. That orange means he's powered up. Nice, good punish. Shen is good. Shen is definitely like high tier. Whether he's actually top tier, he's got kind of stiff movement. He is very consistent. It's easy to think that he would be top tier, but whether he's actually top tier is a little bit more like most of the characters who are like actually top tier in this game right now have like some incredible footsie bullshit, and oftentimes like they have meter efficiency is a really big factor. The thing about drive cancels, the thing about that green bar above your super bar in this game is that that's where like the vast majority of your damage comes from. That was nice. That was a good comeback. Like having a single drive cancel ups your damage by like 200 or 300 in a game where everyone has 1,000 health, and having both drive cancels, having like the full drive bar, makes it so you can do touch of death combos as literally any character. So those are like your super most precious resource, and then your super bars are also really important because they're how you get your supers and your EX moves. Um, the most of the top tier characters can kill you in like 3 bars plus your drive, like 3 super bars plus your drive. Some of them even 2 bars plus your drive. Some of them even less than that. And a lot of the like worst characters, like if you look at King, like she's got a lot of symptoms of like really good footsies and like decent use of meter and stuff like that. I guess good EX moves, good general like everything. And it seems like she would be a high tier character, but then she can't actually kill you unless she uses like 5 bars. And even then, she can't generally kill you with the 5 bars. Like her damage is just not as high. She can't turn. She like has a hard time turning. Whereas like characters like Rio can just kill you quite easily with 4. Shen. It's a cultural thing. Spanish people play KOF because they're already good at KOF because they played previous versions of KOF. It's because it all goes back to marketing. I think SNK tried harder to have like because SNK a lot of their games I think were like football games, and when I say football I mean soccer, and those are obviously not very popular in the U.S. and very popular in Latin America and South America. Um, and also KF was considered to be kind of a better for your money game, to be honest. That was like a big factor. When you play like Street Fighter, you get to play one character and you only get to play a maximum of 3 rounds. When you put in a quarter for KOF, you get to play a maximum of 5 rounds, and you get to play 3 different characters. So for your one quarter, like King of Fighters gives you a way like more diverse experience. I think that was one of the big reasons that KOF kind of saw more popularity. KOF games are more consistent too. KOF 95 plays decently like KOF 98, which plays decently like 2000 KOF 2002, which plays decently like this game. Whereas if you play Street Fighter 2 versus Alpha versus 3 versus 4, maybe not 4, 4 plays decently like, well, 4 is like a mismatch of all of those, but 2, Alpha, and 3 all feel very similar. I'm talking a whole lot about KOF and not a whole lot about this match, but like this match was what I actually came in to talk about because I have a lot to say about this match. Oof. Ralph kind of plays like a Street Fighter 4 character. He's got a move that's basically Hugo's clap. He can combo into it, and then he can also combo out of it. So he's got like fucking grounded links, which not that many characters have in this game. I actually have no clue what SNK stands for. There's a link. Characters juggle differently when they're facing the other way, which he had right there. That didn't fuck up his combo. His combo was already basically done. I think it probably just stands for a hella fucking Japanese name. Oh, yes. Using HD in round 1 is kind of questionable. I mean, it's not bad. If you win round 1, that's an early lead you can get, like, elsewhere. And you'll get that HD meter back. But normally you don't even see HD build in round 1. Your goal is basically to use your HD first against the opponent's second character as your second character, and then you use your HD third, like, first against the opponent's third character with your third character. That's basically what you're trying to do. And obviously if you can do it even better than that, power to you. But it's got kind of a... Because of the way, like, usually, because you restore health based on how much time is left, usually at the end of round 1, even the winner like won't restore that much health because a bunch of time is elapsed because both players were like getting hit. And then in round 2 it'll be someone very weakened versus someone with like full health, and usually that round will be short. And then the person who won, usually the guy with full health, he'll restore more HP. So it'll usually be pretty. It's like a self-balancing system. It keeps the games relatively close without feeling imbalanced, or without feeling like like a comeback mechanic. Basically, like winning early rounds gives you opportunities to fuck up the opponent, but emphasis on just opportunities. That little fucking smirk. Mad KOF looks like God just hit default. He's like, let's get the average of all humans. With a slightly chubby face. Bala has a chubby face too. I haven't seen Bala in a while, but I think he still plays. I know he has like a kid. He's got a family. That's a flash kick. It's an actual charge move. Finding time to charge is kind of difficult. That's like his only charge move too. Kim is a pretty neat character in this game. He's the first character where I was like, damn, this game is really fun. I found he didn't end up being on my final team, but like Kim is really fun to play. You could do worse for a top tier. Whew! You could do a lot worse for a top tier. It's got mad close. This is probably my favorite EVO finals. Psyche's cool. Psyche will unfortunately never be in another game. But Jaehoon is a Kim. Comparative, they're really similar. The really big difference with 13 and 14 is that there's more far normals in 14, whereas they're kind of like cancelable far normals in this game all over the place with like far C's and far D's. KoF13 has like dedicated far normals and dedicated close normals, where it used to be just kind of a poke that you could cancel that didn't have a closer far version. So there's more like there's very slightly gimped like ranged footsies, and then EX moves are locked behind a mode in 14, which changes a lot. Like in this game, you can just use EX moves whenever the fuck you want. Oh, and hyperdrive meter is just gone. That's a huge deal. They just EX mode is basically hyperdrive mode, but with way lower cost and slightly lower rewards. Hyperdrive mode basically just knocks off like 200 damage for however much damage you would have done in 13. It's like for one bar, all of a sudden you're doing like 400 instead of fucking 600 or some bullshit. Um, but in oh, but because it only costs a bar to activate instead of an entire hyperdrive meter, you can see like multiple max modes per round, whereas you get like one hyperdrive every like 2 rounds in this game. So basically, this game is a lot more all or nothing compared to KoF13. Like, you don't really use your light confirms that much unless you're going into hyperdrive in this game. So, like, it's really important to use them there, but, like, you know, being able to do something like that is, like, really important there. Being able to do, like, light, like, dash in, or rather activate, dash in, activate into fucking heavy, whatever. But, it's a general skill because it happens so often in, KO14. It's not like a thing you have to cultivate. Or, I mean, it is a thing you have to cultivate. But it's very easy. You get a lot of practice. I don't really like Clark as a... I mean, obviously, like, I'm watching this in hindsight, and I've, like, watched it multiple times, and I, like, see how this matchup goes. But I've never liked Clark versus, like, kind of footsie characters, ranged characters. And Ralph even less so. Clark is okay. I don't like Clark as a lead. I guess I do. I guess Clark is no worse as a lead than a later character. That down C. Got the grab. This kills without meter, I think. Yep. I already had like an entire video where I talked about the fighting game I want to design someday. I'll save you the click and just describe it very, very briefly. I would literally make a system where I just stole a bunch of special moves from various fighting games, and then I let you pick which special moves your character would have. So you'd have 3 special moves, but they could be pretty much anything. I'm not going to talk that much about it in this video. Ooh. In a perfect world, you would also be able to design your character's visual appearance quite a lot in this fighting game. You would have a customization based, like, everything. Technically, yes, I want that to be not only an option, but potentially a good option. That's something I've thought about. I want there to be not like I want there to be like I want there to be a reason you would pick 2 different fireballs. It's on YouTube. I don't know where exactly. I don't know what exactly to suggest to find it. I think I like called it like my fighting game or my dream fighting game or something like that. See, I think most people would pick a layout like that, Mr. Panda, but that's not bad. I want people to be able to, but I've got a lot of things that I've thought about for like what kind of special moves would be like worth picking. I would have a lot of different scenarios. Like you would feel naked without certain kinds of special moves. And if you're relying on your fireball to be your combo ender, you know what I mean? You're gonna have a bad time. If you're relying on your command grab to be your 5-frame attack, you might have a bad time. Special move balance won't be an issue anyway, because even if some special move is just really good, people can just run that special move. Obviously, I'll try to balance them, but like, you know, I want people to be able to deem something strong together and like, you know, use it. Would an air dash be considered a special move? I'd probably have something like that. I'd probably have a command dash and probably an air dash too. I probably have several command dashes and air dash too. What is this link? It's not highlighting. Anime Ascension. I think I started watching this at some point. I guess I'll take a peek at it after this. Guess we'll watch a bit. Anyway, I'll have like a bunch of different roles, and I'll make it so you can't have all of the roles over your like special moves, or maybe you'll barely be able to do have all the roles, but some of them are going to be gimped. Like you can have like really good anti-airs and really good combo enders and like a command grab, but then you're not going to have a fireball, something like that. The combos are going to be pretty simple, and if I can implement uh, simple with a high ceiling, maybe not a high ceiling, simple with a moderate ceiling, but if I can implement a uh, Street Fighter style, Street Fighter 5 style input buffer system, I'll do it. That tall ass crouch C. Sticking with Billy the whole time would have been alright, I think. His first character basically didn't matter in almost any of these games. He almost always loses round 1. And generally without even doing, or generally doing about the same damage. It almost always comes down to how he plays his Takuma. And oftentimes his Shen too. Mad KoF makes all his characters look equally important and equally useful. Try to command grab. I think Takuma's kind of slept on. He was thought to be a higher top tier in the beginning. As soon as they added Mr. Karate, Takuma use dropped like a fucking stone. He already wasn't super popular because he's kind of a hard character to play. His like HD combos aren't that great, but his non-HD combos, like his regular combos that use 2 drives, are like better than his HD combos. but you can't run Mr. Karate and Takuma on the same team. And Mr. Karate is generally regarded to be one, he's very gimmicky, so if you don't know how to fight him, he like wins free. And two, he's great anyway. He's like one of the best characters in the game, if not the best. My KoF did bracket reset, yes. Anyway, while Mr. Karate is arguably better than Takuma, um, uh, Takuma has some things that Mr. Karate wishes he had, like a good anywhere juggle or a command grab. And I feel like a optimally played Takuma is like super super strong. Optimally played Takuma can kill you with like a third of a drive meter and like 2 bars. That's cheap. That's cheap ass skill combos. Well, the thing is, like, it's gimmicky fighters often fall off once you know the gimmick. But the thing about Mr. Karate, like when you look at like Street Fighter 2 Blanca, it's like once you know the gimmick, he goes to like bottom tier. He goes from like mid tier to bottom tier. But the thing about like Mr. Karate in this game is that he falls once you know the gimmick. Mr. Karate goes from like holy sweet mother of God, I utterly ruined the game to top tier. Like he still falls, but he falls from like a completely broken like skyline to like to the highest tier, the highest tier character. The actual best character in this game is probably Iori, EX Iori. Probably. It's like hovering over all these characters. He's wondering if he can play them. Maxima. Maxima's gimmick is he has a fuck ton of guard points. Secret top tier is possibly Joe. Joe also has insanely good combos and insanely good capacity to kill people with basically no meter in a lot of different scenarios. The only thing is Joe is really, really crazy hard to activate. Shin has snuck his way into top 3. Good lord. I didn't know that. Regular Iori is still considered to be high tier, I think. Regular Iori seemed to be a better anchor than EX Iori. The only problem with regular Iori is that you can't run EX Iori on the same team. EX Iori has like literally the highest meterless damage in the game. Or not the highest meterless. But like he can kill off of anything. He can literally kill off of anything. Anything he can land as Rekos, and any place he can land as Rekos, if he's got like one drive, he can like land an infinite. The infinite's really hard. But like he can literally like that infinite just like that's everything. Robert is generally like mid and maybe secret high. Almost every character is like approximately the same tier in this game, apart from like a couple strong ones. So here's regular Asiori. On first position, no less. Claudiori kind of has like better burst damage than EX Iori. Their special moves are different, but their normals are all the same. EX Iori has a fireball and kind of a better DP, kind of better supers. EX Iori is just kind of generally better. There's a couple special moves that he wishes he had, but I don't know. Terry is generally considered to be like bottom. Terry, Mai, and Elizabeth are generally regarded to be the only kind of bad characters in this game. Although Elizabeth might be secret mid. Terry and Mai are just kind of bad. They're like not that bad. They're just slightly mediocre. Terry, like his combos fall apart in the corner. He literally has higher meterless damage than his corner damage. But his corner damage is only like... His meterless damage is only like, you know, it's pretty good. It's like above average. And his combos are a little gimp too. He's got some neat stuff though. He's got, if you activate, he's got like a literal like touch of guard break. Like he's got a true block string if he activates that like it's a true block string all the way across that can literally take your guard meter from like full to empty. But you can just guard cancel roll to get out. And then also he has a true block string. He has like a 5 hit 200 damage true block string. That's safe. It's like 0 on block, which is kind of good. But like his actual damage is lowish. And he's a fat meter hog. He wants all your bar. He's not really good in the lead, and he's not really good at the end. The 2-hit Stancy is kind of good. Any character with a 2-hit, second hit cancelable normal is kind of good. Auto-confirming normals. I like those. Like Robert close to ND. Like Andy. Andy was really popular in the beginning. He kind of fell off. In the beginning, he was generally regarded as the best lead character because he is very annoying to deal with until you have some bar. And he was like the lead of every team for the first like year that the game was out. And he was really, really popular right at the beginning. He was like the battery. He like functions really well with that bar, and he builds a lot of bar for your later characters. And he's very annoying to deal with if your opponent doesn't have bar, which all three make him a very good lead character. It was always Andy or Robert. Fireballs and DPs, very strong as a lead. Both those characters fell off the fucking map. Robert especially. They're like both still pretty good. Andy, Robert, Kenso, King, I guess, Athena, Mai. There's like a whole bunch of characters who are just like kind of like the I chuck plasma and I uppercut. And they're all pretty good leads. Benny Mario. Oh yeah, you didn't even have fucking Benny Mario on your list. Benny Mario's top tier, isn't he? Robert's footsies, like he can't be offensive enough with his footsies. His damage is high enough. But he's very like it's easy to play an okay defense with him, but it's hard to play really rush down with him. He's got like a good uppercut. He's got a good fireball. He's got decent full screen presence. I thought Benny was like stronger than that. That was the time when people always talked about Team Ick. How do you go from it? How do you mean? Learn max combos. There, you're done. Everything else should do itself. Max combos are not very hard. The game in general, 14 is a lot easier than 13. 13 is not a terribly difficult game anyway. Depends on who you play. 13 has a really high skill ceiling compared to most fighting games. That's why the trial mode is generally regarded to be so hard. But it's not that difficult. Like, it's... Hyperdrive combos look harder than they are. They're really not that bad. It depends on your character. Some of them are insanely hard. But most characters have like an easy hyperdrive combo that's not too bad. Max combos are literally just hyperdrive combos but easier. And also shorter. Hyperdrive combos will be repeatedly going back and forth between two special moves, generally speaking. I think I finished Kate Ash's trial mode. Ash's is definitely the hardest in the game. There are some that are just insanely hard. Leona's is very difficult. Elizabeth's is quite difficult. He unfortunately had to burn his hyperdrive here. But that's okay because he's got to go 3 rounds. If he wins this next one with no hyperdrive at all, he'll have hyperdrive by round 5. That's the idea. Ash is the hardest character in the game. Like generously. He's the character with the crazy high ceiling. I mean, most characters have like a pretty high ceiling. But like Ash was really, really bad. The bait. No cancel. That was like a big moment. Still got it. Just got the drive cancel. He's got a bar now, so he can kill with this combo. Super. Leona had some charged fireballs, didn't she? Ash is generally regarded to be... Ash has like literally... Ash can kill you off an anti-air. Very few characters can claim that. If your execution is good, Ash's ABCD can literally just kill. Oh, that was a reset. He had a combo there. But he went for a reset instead. My god, this set is so good. Oh my god. That drop! That fucking drop. Nice choke, Bala. He made a fat comeback, though. I forgot about that drop. He missed the command grab hyperdrive cancel from the Rekkas. Not Rekkas, what do you call that? Forward back forward punch. That's honestly one of the best comebacks I've ever seen. Unfortunately, he loses the whole set. If he won the whole set, that would be a very, very famous comeback. You can tell Mad KoF was just like, I'm going to win right here. Oh, Hua. I forgot about Hua. Hua's the only character who can technically just, like, without an infinite, kill you with 1 bar. He can do it even when he's not drunk. But if he is drunk, he can kill you meterless with just full hyperdrive. Which is still, you know, technically killing you with 1 bar. Non-reversal wake up, like non-reversal invincible move is actually very strong. Nice. This game has pretty good balance in general. That being said, you often see a very similar team. Because a lot of people, it's just pros. There are a lot of people in a game like this where you already have to learn several characters. It's just like, well, what characters am I going to bother to learn? Why not the top tiers? There's only like 3 tiers in this game, honestly. There's like mid-tier, high-tier, top-tier. Even the absolute worst characters are only barely worse than like the general cast. And the tops aren't that much better than the highs, and the highs aren't that much better than the lows. I mean, the mids. This game has pretty good balance. I know I've literally got no low tier on my thing, so the mid tiers are effectively low tier. Oh, that drop. Raiden's not that bad. Remember in arcade mode when our Raiden was literally broken? Even post nerf, Raiden's okay. Raiden's not the worst character in the game. Takuma's Chorus Hook forward cake is such a weird special move. That was like a series of good reads. Again, this game has pretty good balance. It's because of the system. The difference between a high and top tier, I mean, the difference between like the high tiers and the low tiers is very subtle. Why do you do the fucking light uppercut and not the heavy one? Really unusual. Pow. That's it. Tournament.
Mad KoF came all the way from losers bracket. Wow, beat the favorite baller. A very, very masterful player. People are crying, man. Woo!
Hey, it's this one. I remember this video. It's Bala versus Toshi. Toshi runs Kenso on his team. He often runs Anchor Kenso. Therefore, he is my hero. Toshi still plays. In fact, he was finals at a really big event recently. Oh, he was at that fucking world event. And he still runs Kenso. You can tell Toshi, look at his team. First character is I chuck fireballs and also apricot and also have a command grab. Second character is I chuck fireballs and I have an uppercut and also a command grab. And third character is I'm top tier. Toshi has a very clear game plan. He wants to chuck fireballs and he wants to have an uppercut. Yeah, 2 hours 15 minutes. We're not gonna watch all this. We're only gonna watch like a couple matches. Oh. Because of hops, it's kind of This is infinite. Oh, he dropped it. Or he went for a baby version, rather. He didn't drop it. He just decided to cut out early. Kenso's grab is a super. But it is a one-frame command grab. As in, post-freeze, you can't jump out. Running Kenso any position but first is kind of unusual. Kenso's really good in this game, but he's very different from other Kensos. Kenso's damage is kind of low, but his footsies are really good. Athena, and actually Kenso too, are Psycho Soldiers. That basically just means that they have psychic powers. I don't think they actually do any soldiering. Damn, we didn't see Kenso do anything. I don't know of another KoF game where Kenso has Rekkas. The Kenso we got in 14 is like the Kenso I'm used to from other KoF games. Which is like the only things it has in common with the Kenso in this game are like the fucking fireball and the fucking DP. Everything else is different, even the supers. I mean, the fireball super's the same. It's so weird. Like, he doesn't have his towards A. That's like the fucking overhead. And slash combo attack. He doesn't have the, like, half circle forward punch, like, repeated, like, attacking punch thing. His only, like, sequence, he doesn't have like a command normal. The only sequence he has, like a command normal is he's got a target combo, like a BD. Kadash is a really cool character. He's like high, I think. I think he's high tier. He's kind of he needs more meter than most high tiers to kill, but his footsies are kind of good, and his anywhere juggle is uh unusually good. Although actually converting, he's another kind of hard character to play. Actually converting the full combos off of his anywhere juggle is really hard. And often very expensive. That's the TC. He has Rekkas that, like, I don't think he has anywhere else. Shout out to Toshi doing actual, like, Kenso combos. Kenso is like a really good low B. It's like hard to I can't think about it. The closest I can the closest I can compare Kenso to in this game, he's like a mash between like Ryu and like Yang, but he's a better Ryu than Ryu and a better Yang than Yang, if that makes any sense. He's got like the Street Fighter Ryu style mix up of like DP plus Fireball, but his Fireball is more like Guile's Fireball than Ryu's. And Yang needs meter to combo like EX. He needs meter to combo wreck off lights, but Kenso can just do it. Kenso's wreck combos from lights very easily. Kenso's one of my favorite characters in any fighting game to play. I didn't play him in 98, but if I went back and played KoF 98 nowadays, I'd probably run Kenso. Stages in this game are really nice. Now they bring it up. Oh, he swapped to Steam. Kenso Anchor. Toshi like generally runs Kenso Anchor in this game. Kyo is generally speaking the main character. He's in every KOF game, I think, but sometimes the focus kind of switches away from him briefly, but he's still there. He's still important. But like K Dash was like a baby main character in like the Nest saga. Um, what's his face? Ash is like the main character of like the Ash saga, I guess. It's still Kyo. It's just like it's Kyo and someone else basically. The storyline kind of focuses around like different characters every now and then. And then I guess like K49 and Nameless both kind of jump into the spotlight briefly. Who else? I feel like there's a couple others too. K-Dash was supposed to just replace Kyo as the main character. The K in K-Dash I think stands for Kyo. Like even in universe. K-Dash is from like a science experiment or something that like was trying to steal like Kyo's power to control fire. '14 also has ticks per 100 HP, but it's harder to see. That close D, that hitbox, it's tall. There's the Psycho Sword, her uppercut, it's a DP. That motion for that super is double half circle back. It's a pain in the ass to get quickly, especially considering its main use is in ATR. I don't know how fucking Athena players do it. I don't know how you can have a fucking... Even with buffering, I don't know how you can have a fucking... Oh, the classic EX command grab, EX command grab. Generally, it's just a tournament where everyone's going to for money. because they were invited in KOF, but then there's always some some asshole who also entered the tournament who basically wants to do some nefarious thing. Sometimes that person is Orochi. Sometimes it's Geese, I think. I don't know if it's ever Geese. Geese was like the villain of Fatal Fury, but I don't think he's really a significant villain in the KOF games. He's more of like behind stuff. It's more like the after effects of what he did. That's a command grab, and she can interrupt the... It like does flat damage once they land, but she can prevent them from landing. She can like interrupt their landing with like her attacks. But getting more damage than the landing is kind of hard to do. I think Bob from Tekken has something similar, and so does Necro in Street Fighter 3. Yamazaki is pretty cool, but he's not like a significant villain. He's just a mercenary, I'm pretty sure. He's like an asshole, but like he's not an asshole to the heroes specifically. In fact, I think he was literally an anti-villain very briefly. Because it's like he was supposed to be one of the heads. He's one of the like the heads of Orochi, but he was like the one that couldn't be trusted. He was like the one that would betray Orochi, or they were afraid would betray him. Something. I forget all the people in Orochi. There's like fucking Yashiro, Shermie, Chris, Orochi himself, Mature and Vice, Yamazaki, and like one other dude. There's like 8 of them. R.I.P. Brain Slug. At least we still have Cat Bag. My personal favorite emote. I don't know if being a member of the fucking Team Orochi has anything to do with controlling Orochi. I think it does. I think that everyone else in Team Orochi is like being mind controlled. Like Yashiro, Shermie, and Chris, and also Vice and Mature are all like being mind controlled by Orochi. But Yamazaki is just like, well, whatever. Last bosses of KF games are like even more broken than last bosses of Mortal Kombat games, to be honest. Last bosses of KF games are generally insanely stupid. Like really busted. Reflected his entire fucking EX projectile. Athena's Reflect doesn't give a shit. It reflects supers. If it's a fireball, it gets bounced back. Simple as that. Failed to punish the crystal bit. Yamazaki's Orochi. Love that super. That super has really, really good anywhere juggle, which means that regardless of juggle potential, if those glasses connect, the super will fully juggle. Even in scenarios where there should be no juggle potential at all. Yes, most SNK bosses are bullshit. The only one I can think of who isn't is Kane R. Heinlein. He's like the only fair boss in the entire fucking library. Yeah, yeah, that's hard. That was tight. That was a crazy cool conversion. Oh, he dropped. I lied. I lied. I said that it always struggles if the shades connect. I've never seen that drop like that. Wasn't Athena from like a fucking shmup? It's like such a strange thought. Vanessa best dressed? She looks very casual. She's got like suspenders and shit. Terry looks cool, but I wouldn't call him well dressed. King is definitely well dressed. Even like leather coat Terry, I wouldn't call fashionable. I wouldn't call him like fucking. I don't know. That sweep goes really far and it cancels. You can make it safe by canceling to his command backdash or a fireball. Or even his command backdash into a fireball. Vanessa is a very loved character among the player base. I mean, looking, I don't know. Most of why Terry is cool is based on his attitude, I guess, and his hat. That's an awful question. I'm gonna let you in on a secret, Max. Even if you like never ever masturbate ever, you're gonna masturbate because like your body will literally fucking jack itself off. You'll just be asleep and then you'll just wake up and you'll have had a wet dream. You'll just be like, damn it, I was trying so hard not to come. I wouldn't give a shit if you didn't do it on purpose. That's a vile question, though. I don't want to have a conversation about what counts as fapping. Maybe there's something to no fap. Maybe. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say there's nothing to it. I feel like if the only way that I could, like, I feel like I would already have a girlfriend if the only way I could fucking masturbate was by a girl, like, by having sex with a girl, by not masturbating. If I could masturbate, I would already have a girlfriend. I feel like I would be trying a lot harder to get a girlfriend. I'd be working out every day if that was my only hope. But I kind of like this culture where everyone's just kind of like, you know, I wouldn't say it's okay to talk about quite yet. I mean, obviously it's not okay to talk about yet. It's not, it's still kind of crass to talk about masturbation at all. But now there's this kind of inherent common knowledge that everyone has that most other people masturbate and frequently. Maybe not frequently, but you know, more than once a week. It's general knowledge that masturbation is a thing that happens. I think that's a step in the right direction. I love that DP. See that anti-cross-up box? He's picking his ranges like perfectly. I forgot about the special move. I basically never used it. Even though it's a pretty good special move. Shades hit.
Pero Bala sale con un buen combo. Dice
85 times is questionably too much.
está buena, dice el muchacho.
I'm pretty sure it takes a fuck ton of masturbation to actually start affecting your health, though. Three times a day is already kind of a lot. If you're doing it like 3 times a day every day, that's like a whole lot. That's like a shit ton.
Bueno, el partido de Toshi ahí ha presionado muy bien a Bernardo con Kenzo. Ha hecho bastante barra.
Damn, this is getting to be a wacky conversation.
Saludo para Alex G. Xrd
Time to watch some Xrd. Hurry these fuckers. Show me the Johnny.
Right now.
Slayer. Hell yeah. All I know about Johnny is that he's got really long range attacks, and also he can throw coins at you, and the coins are kind of good. But he has a very limited number of them. So Ibuki, basically. Gets coins back from one of his supers. I didn't know that. Damn, look at that coin. Look at it. Controlling that space. I've seen that projectile. Where have I seen it? In an MK game? I can't place it. The projectile that bounces around you a little bit locks you down for a minute. Oh, I didn't know the coins had a level system, dude. I don't know anything about this game. I watched a lot of footage, but it was before Johnny came out. I know Johnny's like a really popular character from like older Guilty Gears. I like looked for him when I got this game and I was like, whoa, he didn't make it. I was kind of shocked because I thought he was one of the most popular characters. Venom too. I think Venom's in this game now as well, right? Yeah, Leonie Earring. That's actually quite similar. That might be it. But even Leonie Earring only hits once. But the angle is like exactly the same. Anime zoning is different, man. No, Venom was always there. I was like wondering to myself. I don't even know who Raven is. My character looks like a toy pulling strings. Sounds like one of the robot characters from Blazblue. The meter system is so strange in this game because of how frequently, like literally, it seems like almost all your meter, if not all of it, just goes to fucking Roman cancels. So you got this like meter at the bottom that like is never ever full, and generally not even half full. You basically never see supers at all. Or at least not any of the characters I used to watch. Oh, we got Chip. I know a lot about this guy. He's cool. He's got like a bunch of jumps, and he's really fast. Got good mobility. Look at all that attention. All I know about Sin is that he's got really, really big hitboxes and he eats food. I never like really saw that many Sin players, and I think he's supposed to be a pretty strong character too. If I played this game, I wouldn't mind playing Chip. He looks cool. I like the way his gameplay looks. Looks like Bang, but without the need for like nails. Oh my god, all these fucking dashes and fucking jumps. How does it work? Is it like you can use an air dash or a jump? Like a double jump? So it's like fucking... He has like 3 jumps or something, right? Like fucking Marble Chan. Can he like do jump, like air dash jump? He can, right? Oh, danger time. Danger time seems like a mechanic that like... I don't know, it seems kind of dumb. I don't know enough about it to bash it though. But the idea of it sounds kind of awful from what I've heard. Oh my god, he couldn't... As an Aura player, I was just like, I don't like any of these double jumps. It looked like those the dust. It looked like the kind of double jump that like just leaves you vulnerable to an anti-air every time. Should have cut his losses and run away. Yes, look at this footsies. Look at this zoning. That fucking dash. Those repeated jumps. These tellers. Tricky. That trade, yo. Yo. That's bullshit. What's with the damage in this game? The damage is like so low all the time, but if you get the right hits, like things just do so much fucking damage. Like that Evo event where the guy like fucking stood up and didn't even realize with the Wushiga versus Ogawa. Like the combo that he did to punish that was so fucking strong. It's like why can you do like that much? Why do you have starters that do that much damage? You land the right thing, you just do over half the opponent's health somehow. Why do you have attacks that like are impossible to land but like destroy the opponent? That was tight. Oh yeah, I knew that actually. Chip has like no health. The kunai. He's literally the lowest in the game, right? HP. The super. That looks decently like a super that Kai has, which would make sense, I guess. I think Milia has very low HP too, right? Yo, that meaty. What's danger time? It's like during a hitbox to hitbox trade. It's like a 1 in 20 chance or something like that. That did a lot of fucking damage. Chip is pretty cool. Oh, we got a fucking Axel. Axel's the character that I would actually play in this game. I really like him. I like his face. I like his tool set. Some kind of weird ghetto Dalsum. I like everything about him. I like already play a little bit defensive in like Street Fighter, but like anime zoning is my favorite shit. But it has to be very specific kinds of anime zoning. It has to be like the Lambda 11 style of anime zoning, with like full screen, with like crazy projectile spam and like um full screen hitboxes and stuff. I get so hyped when I see like a 7-hit combo across the screen with Axel. I'm just like, hell yeah, I get him. Yeah, yeah. I got hype. I don't like I don't like Venom style anime zoning. Who's like the Blazblue example? What's like a zoning character in Blazblue? Trying to think of who the like I guess Mew 12. While this may look like Goken, it's actually a robot suit with a lolly inside. Mew's like the same thing as Lambda. I like the Lambda. I like Mew. I'm not trying to say Mew's close to Venom. I'm just trying to say that Mew's the kind of a good example of the anime zoning I don't like, where it's just like weird attacks from like. I'm okay with attacks from every angle. Lambda has attacks from every angle, but like building some kind of weird defense off of like random hitboxes, like what's his face, Sinestro in like Injustice. That kind of character. I don't like that kind of zoning. Oh my god, look at these normals. Damn, all that blocking. I don't know. I can like zoning with normals or zoning with plasma. As a long-time Gal player, I can safely say that I like both. Gal does both. I guess I tend to like fireballs a little more. I don't know. It depends. I really like a character with good normals. Yo, this combo has all the fucking look of like a combo that would be like really, really fucking strong in an anime game. Some characters just have really hype-looking combos. Like what's his face? The Azrael, Azazel. What's his name? The fucking really beefy guy from Blazblue. Azrael, I think. Um, his combos just feel fucking powerful. When I watch him doing combos, I just fucking feel it. I'm just like, God damn, that's strong. Look at all this power. He has satisfying combos to watch. They're pretty hard to do though. As someone who's tried to do his combos, they're like precise. Yeah, pressure leads to more pressure. Your reward for landing a combo is more combo is like fucking strong ass pressure. I like him in general. I don't like games with combo breakers. Don't like bursting. I like MK, but I hate combo breakers in that game. I like Injustice, but I hate clashes. I like most anime games, but I hate most bursts. Burst is something I don't want to have to think about when I'm thinking about like technical combos. Slayer, Bedman? I never ever see Bedman players. They must be rare. I see Slayer a decent amount. I guess I'll watch the busted match at some point tonight. I should go to sleep really soon. Planning on waking up at noon tomorrow. Burst baiting is another thing I'd like to not think about, to be honest. Killer Instinct has that. Bursting and burst baiting. Not called that, but you know, same idea. And it's like the whole game. So is Bedman literally like asleep? he dreaming about kicking your ass, or is he dreaming about something entirely unrelated? Slayer has an extremely cool design. One of the coolest of any fighting game characters I've ever seen. The hair is a bit silly, but not really bad. Oh, is it really set to SF5? It shouldn't be. That's just a fuck up. I normally never have it set to SF5 except for Bavcup. Badminton is pretty cool. Oops, I accidentally jumped to 59 minutes in. That jumping attack has such good fucking hitbox. Oh my god. Strong. It must be suffering to be a chip player. Nice. Damn. That's all off an overhead, right? No one man should have all this power. Good lord. That was a lot of fucking damage. Oh my lord. Strong. Dust combos are really tight looking.
Very familiar with how much damage Xrd does, but I'm sure it never feels good anytime. Perfect metaphor here. Once they don't get pushed and oh my god. There's back in there.
Burst.
It's like one of the best burst agents in the game. Yes, it is. Yeah, defensive burst Nintendo, not very common. That is a fact.
Slayer looks like he has. I mean, Chip looks like he has a big advantage for most of the match. I don't know. It could just be player skill, but it seems like Chip gets his opportunities way more easily. I think that's Chip's whole thing. That good ass neutral.
What? Wow. I wonder
That good ass speed.
I'm not sure. But there's
Jacko is probably the highest tier fucking Buttermancer in this game.
so many opportunities to launch hits like that. Delayed overhead, double hit overhead, counter hit overhead. You're all go.
Oh no.
Alright, this is scary.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Danger time.
Oh no.
No!
Oh no.
That's it! That was the How fast was that? I didn't even take a breath. I ran out of oxygen in 6 seconds screaming that match. That was the most dangerous time I've ever seen. There's
Was all that guaranteed from the way that the danger time started or no?
knows danger time, the best mechanic in Field Computer history. Right there is why we love it. Players hate it. Spectators love it. Alright, so the score I think
It seems like danger time's entire purpose was to just like create a scenario where like neither player would be very ready for it.
okay, he's counting here.
It's like an anti-set play measure, and I guess a
There's
pro hype measure.
but takes it again. He's just all over Damon's face right now.
Ooh,
Wings.
big damage. Look at his meter. He has. Oh my
Just
god.
like that. Again, 3 hits, but
First
Ursanse.
wait, punishes it.
Oh, he gets it!
Gets the punish. Oh my god.
Oh!
Chip has been eating cow bunkers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner last few rounds. Demendo putting on a show with
Oh
Slayer's
my
damage output.
god!
Look at Shazam's face. Oh my god, the tech
They
reset
must be suffering being a chip player.
It's hard.
Oh, the
It's
mix
inside
up.
Elder.
This might be it right here.
Yeah,
Another
that's it, that's
dizzy.
it.
How many perfects has he gotten so far against Chip?
I mean, like you said before, this guy's got 150k HI on Slayer, and intermittent essays about how to defeat Chip is almost everything you can get.
Damn, I would get destroyed mentally if all this happened to me.
Correct, but I'm
I wouldn't even be able to play.
that he can do it
I just fucking surrender.
finals
Yeah.
of the tournament.
No, it's one thing
Consistently.
to have
Look at the
knowledge.
damage. Oh my god.
Oh!
Let's see some Slayer defend right now.
Oh!
Oh my
He
god.
converts off of him! What a god!
He is a god. A Slayer god.
Damon though gets the throw.
Oh!
Archie convert too far.
Oh my god. How many
One
scoops?
more. Oh!
He double scoops.
Damon though only needs one more round now.
I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, I know Chip is like a strong character.
It's every Slayer's dream right now.
It is. You know, you have a dream of being Superman, you're flying through the
Yeah.
air. That's what happens right now. Demendo is Superman. He is just going nuts. Doing every pop bunker lands. That's
This is a
respect.
pretty entertaining match.
Damage.
I normally don't like watching this game that much, but I gotta admit, this is some good shit right here. Chorus, good shit.
Okay, Bear's turn.
I think the chorus is actually right here.
Takes on Eternal Wings.
Ooh,
This might be it. That's it. That's it.
Oh! Oh my god!
Demendo.
Damon though!
Oh my god.
sweet Christ.
I can't even feel bad about the Mouse Bears. He deserves that. What a crazy guy.
The minion costume is a power up.
Okay, you're right about that.
It is a stat boost on luck, on pile bunkers, counter
I gotta hit the sack pretty soon.
Result
I am sleepy.
from Damon Joe, certainly.
I'll like check who's playing the next match.
Now we have Johnny. Okay, for the Slayer side.
Yeah, I mean, for
Johnny versus a Slayer. Oh, it's grand finals.
Wow. That was very lucky to get the crosswise of invincibility.
Oops, I clicked Central Fiction.
there's the knuckle.
Yeah.
Look, Arachne.
It's actually Johnny. First, because of the nature of the Computer meters, so the RC didn't come out fast enough for him, so that blocks the next bus up coming.
So, like I said, once you're prepared to bet oxygen in the game, you basically trust pretty much the entire environment.
Yeah.
Look, it's Ragna.
Well, like he is getting a lot of burst right now, which is a lot of good, but a lot of these elements are really good.
Good guy versus Squiggly. I know a decent amount about this game. Not a lot. I don't play it. But I know like enough that I can watch it. I know that Arachne has bugs when he hits you with certain attacks. His drive attacks. It builds meter. And when the meter is full, every time he releases a button, it fires a bug. Which button he releases affects which bug is tossed. And he becomes a really broken ass character once he has full bug. Ragna has good ass hitboxes and a fat ass DP. And health drain, I guess. That DP though. I don't know anything about Central Fiction compared to Chrono Phantasma. Ragna's pretty cool if you like 100 hit combos. Ragna's combos are really simple. He's like a non-anime character in an anime game. He's got like regular ass normal man combos. He's still got like, you know, chaining ABC combos. But it's usually just like fucking short combo, launcher, short air combo, air DP. I think Carl's never been bad, right? Carl's so bullshit. Carl's ceiling is like fucking way higher than every other character. And it hurts because I could never, ever in a million years play Carl. Along with 99% of all the human race. 99 is an understatement. 99.999% of the human race could never play Carl. So here we got two brand new characters. Izanami, literally Satan. And, what's her name? Mai. I didn't say Carl was good. I just said his ceiling was high as fuck, which I guess indirectly means he's good, which it does. I know that literally everyone has like a fetish for whatever happened to Mai. Not a fetish for that happening to them, but a fetish for Mai specifically. A fetish for men turning into women and slowly becoming obsessed with dicks. I know this because I was browsing dank meme boards. Then someone explained what happened to Mai, and literally everyone responded with that is my exact fetish. Cool. These Vietnamese combos are pretty cool. I thought this character would never become playable. I also thought that Jinbei, or whatever, would become playable very quickly. It's funny how your expectations are fucking not met. Is it Jinbei or Jubei? What the fuck? The cat. The cat man. This match is not so interesting for me because I don't know anything about either character. I gotta be honest, I love bursts. Or not bursts. I don't like bursts at all. I like or overdrive. I like that that's the same resource as burst too, because it makes you make a decision on which one you want to use. I like that. I still don't like burst though. I'd rather have neither. But hyperdrives, fuck, overdrives are pretty cool. I mean, like, it's literally stated that Jubei is like the strongest character in universe, right? Besides possibly like full power Hakumen. Because like the playable Hakumen is supposedly like 20% Hakumen. You know what character is really tight in this game? Taokaka. Taokaka is a character whose mix-up is so good that she literally deliberately drops combos to get mix-ups again. Her mix-up is so good that fucking she just goes for infinite resets. Eternal resets the character. I watched a little bit of Tekken 7. It looks like more Tekken, and that's not bad. Tekken's a pretty cool game. Besides like the new mechanic of like slamming, the spin slam or whatever it's called, Tekken 7 just looks like Tekken to me. Just looks like more of the same. Graphics are nice. It's cool. I don't dislike it. The only complaint I have about Tekken 7 is the drastically reduced roster. Tekken games normally only increase the roster. AZO is cool too. The characters I really like to play in this game are Bullet and Tsubaki and Platinum. The characters I really like to watch are those guys plus actually almost everyone. I get hype as fuck when there's a Hakumen on the screen. Hakumen is one of the most hype characters in any fighting game for me. Everything about Hakumen is very hype. I only fooled around in trials and training mode and stuff, so I didn't know Makoto had like a parry until pretty recently. I gotta be honest. Rachel's pretty neat. I'm getting really tired. Starting to like really hit me. Oh, this is what's her face? Celica. Celica. And we got a Rachel. Rachel has wind. The wind pushes things, including the opponent, including Rachel, including the objects that Rachel throws. This is what I know about Rachel. I mean, I know a lot more than that. That wind also lets her stay in the air for a really long time if necessary. And approach from very unusual. It basically gives her a triangle jump. Shit like that. I think the wind just builds over time, right? It doesn't really build faster or slower depending on what you do. It's just kind of constant. Kind of like how Hakumen is constantly building meter, regardless of what you do. I know Rachel also gets like really beefy pressure if you just win towards the opponent while hitting attacks. You can get like longer black strings than normal. The only thing I know about Celica is she's supposed to be pretty easy. Every character is very clearly built around a gimmick in this game, and yet it's still pretty cool.
Not gonna help him. Oh, the fake DP! He's gonna be able to tag in the air, but he wants to use that heal to remain even.
Yeah, so when he uses that uppercut, the damage is taken. He actually loses it. But if he stays on,
So Celica has like red health and a healing super.
the way to get it out. He is
That's kind of different.
Yeah, you have to use it strategically, so he's getting pressured. Plus his button's off the tag. Blazblue though needs to go in and interrupt it there. However, it is quickly recovered.
What's a Rachel's power level though? I know her butler is literally one of the 6 heroes. Is Rachel's stronger? Or is she just more important? Will she eventually be stronger?
Yeah, you gotta make turtling all these skills work when it comes to winning one v one.
That marksman right there does have super significant power. Even the damage as a marksman. Not the greatest.
Oh, that's a fatal counter and it's huge. Yeah, he was able to frame trap LP2 there. I'm not exactly sure what button he was pressing, but boy, is it gonna hurt for him.
Yeah, it was the wrong button. I'll tell you that for sure.
Oh! So that move right there from Celica, that is her 6A. First it overheads and then it lows as she falls to the ground. And it just caught the backdash barely on LP2 button. Okay. Nice, getting counter stalled out and oh yeah, nice anti-air from LP2. Recognizing that we're gonna
I've done Rachel combos, they're pretty tight.
in a lot of the
Pretty hard.
air dodge.
But if you're nasty there, he whiffed the counter spell right there.
Okay, just needs to know damage.
Great offense from Val.
Yeah, not the most damage, but he gets a full
I like her super that like makes the lightning.
KoF13 is
She
out
looks
there.
like she has pretty good supers in general.
Overdriving around the same time that KoF13 was ended.
Oh, a big drop right there.
Oh, gets the overhead.
I mean, I dropped it, I'm gonna lose. That right there. He had that round one. Like, oh, well, you know what? I'm just gonna lose.
I'm going to crash very soon.
Nice, okay.
That's my warning to all of you.
Still have to make something happen.
Rachel's projectiles are pretty neat. Rachel's the kind of character that I wouldn't play, but she's cool. She's cool to watch. She's that kind of zoning character. She's got like a decent offensive pressure too, because the triangle jumps. She's got like a really good. She's got like a very strong defensive game and a pretty strong offensive game too. I like that. You can use that win for fucking offense or defense. If you look at her tool set, just raw, it looks like a very defensive tool set.
Did a lot more damage than 2,000.
But her capacity to rush down is actually quite good.
A bit of talking that LP2 doesn't really make so much logical combos. She's still talking that drains health, but it doesn't actually add to the combo time. So it does a lot more damage when it's drained.
Well, she needs to get enough health with that talk. And talking in the corner here.
Yeah, he's got some strong pressure. Ooh,
The throw.
haven't seen the throw option yet.
This is bad on the throw.
Those in this game are breakable on reaction. You can also like block string into throws, but then they become incredibly easy to break on reaction.
Try to get airborne. It is airborne first.
And every throw you land, you can combo out of. Throw breaks work like Street Fighter, and not like Guilty Gear.
He's navigating that. Oh, but he barely gets out. Burger McNasty has literally one health left, but he's gonna get the dive kick here. This is afterburner loops. Pushing him to the corner.
Great damage here. And he's in the corner to win this. Two openings.
Yeah, he tried to bait that counter spell, but he was not able to get it. He still got it through, and yeah, nice from LPT knowing when to press the button.
Yeah, right there.
I'm gonna check another one out.
He's gonna be an overhead right there. Yeah, so when you see a
Oh, we got a nice car, Kizzy K.
the active flow,
We got Jin.
purple around his button is important. Active flow is a mode that not only
Jin is literally Street Fighter.
but also up
EX moves and shit. Jin's B&Bs seem to change every version. I mean, obviously every character has B&Bs changed like a decent amount every version, but Jin's like literally look completely different every version. I like Blazblue a lot more, but I also know a lot more about Blazblue. But I've like tried to learn more about Guilty Gear, and I don't like as much on paper.
oh, excellent time to DP. Up throw. Still works out for him.
That overhead.
Again, because he
Oh my god, are you kidding me? It's a pretty good overhead. I know that you can't combo out of it without Roman canceling it, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But goddamn, 3 overheads in a row is that's nut. That was full nut.
Oh my god! I've never seen that kind of counter hit, so I don't know what damage comes after. That's a rare move to hit with top. Oh
The
my goodness,
DP
that puts him in the corner too!
hyperdrive with Jin.
Talking about earlier,
Oh, this is that new ender. I know about that. You can like use the remainder of your hyperdrive time to like do a special ender.
oh, he catches the roll, but no actual buttons. Okay, DP against RC. RC to get the full conversion. He's trying to kill here with the super. He bursts out because he does get it. That active flow really matters with him. RC is on DP.
Jin's hyperdrive makes all his attacks freeze for a while, and all the attacks that already froze now freeze for hours.
He's got the 5D puncher. Oh, he stops and does something. The counter spell comes out from Kona. And he gets under it. Sees the headed motor.
That cross under down C.
Run under anti-air, one of the strongest options in DMC. Gets so much mobility, runs right under, anti-air is very
That is getting heavy. Crashing. Yeah, that beefy ass roster. There's the Valkenhayn. I like tried to find like strong combos for Valkenhayn, and I worked really hard, and I could not find strong combos for shit. I'm either inept at Valkenhayn combos or like his damage is like the lowest in the game. Maybe both. I could like barely hit like 3K with him.
Absolutely no fear from Kipsy, but it's coming back on him.
Valkenhayn is pretty stiff. In wolf form, he's got like really good mobility.
Get the TRM set up.
TRM is when you try to tech too early, tech too early, as long as they can throw from the no meter to convert there.
It's just barely outside of the dragon punch range.
One of the reasons why we have to not
Chrono Phantasma Valkenhayn is the one I messed with. I got a little exclamation point. It's like, hey, you failed to block this overhead. I like this game does that. Skillsy Gear do that too. There's like different colors for every single thing that can happen. See, that's like the kind of combo I found. It wasn't that one, but it was that kind of shit. It's like corner, like... Ooh. I like when it tells you what you did wrong. I like when you get hit by something, it's just like, why'd that work? And then it's like, oh, it's a grab. Oh, it's an overhead. It's relieving. It's an error. Gets the combo out of it using the overdrive. Very cool. I'll have combos out of the DP. That shit's cool. Ugh. He's got the 100. Is it like a super? Alright. I know that overdrive powers up a lot of supers. That looked like one.
Okay, with the small advantage.
A lot of supers get it like a new animation in Overdrive that does more damage.
But Sona can get into active core state so long as he's, oh, nice catch the roll with the
Like
conversion.
half of them.
Gonna allow full conversion into knockdown. Oh, but he fakes
Resets
it.
him. Wow, he didn't get the combo on the reset. That's very bad.
Oh no.
Zoning himself.
Gets the start now. Like he's very close to breaking it. He needs to break it.
Oh no! But yeah, he's dead. He's got nothing else left. If he gets hit one more time, he could be in deep trouble.
Yeah, but he's
Wow!
getting 2 hits here on Valve, so he's gonna go for the regular knockdown.
2 hit stand B where the second hit pulls in.
Wolf is now on deck.
Oh!
Second punch is out. It's the push pressure on it.
Oh!
TOS him. And this could be it, but the thing is the bird comes out. Now, Sona with almost full meter. Wolf meter on deck as well. If he hits here, I
Can he
don't
kill?
think he can kill.
I don't think so either. He's got so much meter though.
Oh, the thing is gonna do it.
Oh!
And
Damn, imagine we
Sona
blocked that.
eliminates
Damn,
him.
imagine we hit him with that instant kill.
What a gutsy move
That'd been
right
hype.
there.
We were talking about how like many options Valve has actually against his Dragon Punch, but it
Maybe I'll tune into one more just to see what's going on. I see Ragna. I see Makoto. I gotta pull in. No, it's just Celica. You can see her up there.
Breaking nasty. What?
So, I believe Burgundy Nasty needs to be there because of the airborne. They have a Burgundy Nasty needs to be safe because the airborne frame is frame 1. So he tries to use that to get out of load. However, Ragna's 2A, the crouching punch, is just high enough to catch her on the way up.
Ragna must be the Ryu of Guilty Gear.
Oh, yeah, that was a very committal option for him.
He
And he
did
does
it
it
again!
again!
Just a little too early. Too early to hit.
Oh, the throw counter. Yeah, so that means his sense of level during the throw is not as strong.
Can we get a knockdown? We have options for that. That's the question. Easy pressure with it, but right there, uses tactics too early. Kills him too early.
Yeah. Ooh, nice air hit there. Using his normal movement speed.
It's pretty high, so it's kind of one-one.
That very core move right there where he's
I can't stop yawning.
blood sight. He is quite plus on it.
It's 4 AM. I gotta crash.
A lot of Ragnar's options, not options. Basically, if you wait, if he gets you to wait, he can kill.
That overhead. All that pressure. Non-stop pressure.
He pretty much used every neutral to plus normal. That way Burgundy Nasty has very few options to deal with the pressure. Like right here, the 2A.
Show me that perfect.
Right now, Burgundy Nasty is almost closing in.
Oh, that spike is actually going to hit. Yeah, he's forced to burst because that combo would have killed. Cards get out of there. Is there a moment to hit Blazblue just possibly try to clean up the... Oh my god, his barrier's gone though.
He just waited out. I don't think Blazblue is going to come in.
He actually just waited his... He used his barrier simply to block in the air.
I mean, honestly, like, hit a dude, disintegrate, and wow!
Okay, that's important. Yeah, he's going to use that to recover a little bit of health. It's not a lot, but it matters.
Okay.
Air to air.
Good air to air by Burgundy Nasty. But he's running out of time. 20 seconds. He's got to make this count. So let's bait a dude out here. Blazblue can wait him out really well.
Yeah, he's got to remain vigilant with his block. He's going to try and hit, but that whip
That scramble!
has so much recovery, and this is really good.
5 seconds.
I did this round.
Reset him.
Oh,
Then I gotta
no!
crash.
Once again to the
There it
center.
goes. Crashing time.